If you're in a tangle, talk to Mr. Angle. He'll keep your workshop from getting mangled. Yeah!
Okay, first things first. Make sure that the saw is unplugged. The things we're going to go through first this evening are changing a blade, checking to make sure that if you want to make a square cut that the saw is adjusted properly. Tension knob adjusts how tight the blade is held in the saw. So the first step to get the blade out so that it can be changed is we're going to loosen the tension. We're going to open the guard. Oh, I have my safety glasses on also. This one already slipped off from the wheels, so now all I have to do is roll it back and forth to get it out of the guides. Now, these things will cut you if you're not careful, and if you're storing them, you may want to make sure that they are in a loop, and when you buy a new blade it's going to look just like that. So when you get the blade out of the package, you want to hold on to it so that when it unwraps it doesn't get you. The other procedure is to unwrap it and turn your head and just drop it on the floor. Okay, so we're going to be putting the same blade back on. Okay, the next stage is going to be putting the blade back in. I'm going to run it into the guides. I'm going to make sure that the teeth are pointing down. Works best if you put the blade in the correct direction. Now I'm going to walk the blade around the bottom wheel. And hopefully get it around the top wheel. Now I'm going to tighten the tension on the belt up on the blade slightly. Close the guard. And now we'll plug the saw in. Oh no, it didn't make it in that guide. Now, once the blade is in and rotating the contention in the blade, it's a feel thing. You'll just have to tighten it up until it feels right to you. Try it and make sure that it doesn't come off, slip, etc. Now, I'm going to check to make sure this saw is going to cut at 90 degrees. And I'm using a square. I'm going to set it against the stationary stop, lower the blade, and slide the square up against the blade and the stop. Okay, we've determined that we are going to use the chassis side rails at their full length. We're going to make it a long chassis. Our kicker is going to have a lot of inertia, so we want to make sure that it doesn't want to tip back and forth, so we figured that the long chassis is the best for us. If we cut the cross channel at 15 3/4 inches, our outside perimeter comes out to be exactly 112 inches. So I'm going to mark this cross frame at 15 3/4. And I'm using a scribe because the line is nice and small. It makes the metal shiny. And I was off at an angle on the first cut, but I know that the point at the bottom is at exactly 15 3/4. Next step, I'm going to lower my saw down and I'm going to run the line over until the inside edge of the blade is exactly even with my line. I'm going to let the weight of the saw push my workpiece down. I'm going to push it back against the stop, tighten the clamp. I'm going to turn the saw on, check just to make sure that my line and blade are lined up. Let the weight of the arm carry the blade. Momentarily, you'll either have a cross channel or scrap. At the competition, the judges will check it to make sure that there are no sharp edges, no pointy pieces to hurt anybody. So you want to break all those sharp edges. Inside and out. The judges may rub their hands around and feel for any places. And now 15 3/4. There you go.